And I welcome you today to CSC Talk Radio. It's my honor, my privilege, and my pleasure to be here with you today. Well, poo. Have you seen the latest headlines? Have you watched the latest news? If you have, you'd understand why I say, well, poo. And I'm not talking about Winnie the Pooh either. This nation seems to be deep in it, literally and politically. As we get ready to cover the news for today's show, President Donald Trump is meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin, and I've never seen such an outrage of people who don't want the president to meet. They don't want these two guys to be together. They shouldn't be alone in a room. Nobody knows what they're talking about if they're alone in the room. And I have to ask myself why. What could possibly go wrong with trying to sit down and talk with other dignitaries, with other presidents? Hey, even the pirates have parley. Russia, Russia, Russia. Who truly is at fault over the meddling of elections? You meddle, I meddle, it all evens out in the end. Does it not? We will soon see what's going to take place here or there. And I don't believe the sky is falling, and I don't believe people will be dying because this meeting or because of the nomination of Brett Kavanaugh. I do believe people died because of poor democratic socialistic policies and the Hillary Clinton's bad decisions or evil decisions, whichever way you want to look at it, regarding Benghazi. I do believe our Constitution is at stake and dying as the Democrats scream and go socialist or go home. Dung in the streets is evidence of how wonderful the socialist policies are working in San Francisco. And being the grand socialist Dems that they are, they blame advocacy groups for not doing enough to teach the homeless cleanliness. Oh, honestly, it's almost laughable when you stop and think about it. While the U.S. pulled out of the Paris Accord, it is still costing us as well. I read an article about that I'm going to share with you today. It's really nothing new. Remember Agenda 21. Remember the Endangered Species Act ended a long time ago, but we're still paying for that. It's all a show in D.C. The D.C. occupiers occupying offices and cutting deals continued to entertain America last week with the hearings, the grillings of the arrogant Peter Strzok. The Dems, D-I-M, wanted to give the man a Purple Heart. I didn't see anybody shooting at him, did you? And the grilling of the conversation got nasty on all three sides. He seemed rather confident, as I am as well, that no matter what he said, he was going to be okay. Yep, no justice for the people. And now Gowdy mentioned over the weekend on a Sunday interview that there's no reason for Congress to impeach Rosenstein. Now, it's almost believable, Trey. It's almost believable. Again, no justice for the people. No justice, a lot of poo. So let's get to the poo. All right, you're asking me, okay, Beth, what's all the poo about? Well, I know that's what you're saying. There's a mayor in San Francisco, and she's upset because she says the city is drowning in poop. There's more feces than I've ever seen. I'm thinking, that's a crazy statement. How much feces are you looking at? And I have to also stop before we get into this article that perhaps the streets of San Francisco are now like the backyards of people who live on the border states in the southern part of the United States. Because what's left behind in their backyards is more than just poop. It is horrible. But now, the San Francisco mayor, London Breed, said the streets of her city are flooded with the excrement of the homeless. Breed, a Democrat who was inaugurated as San Francisco's mayor Wednesday, urged homeless advocacy groups to receive money from the city. I guess they do receive money from the city to teach the homeless people to clean up themselves. There is more feces on the sidewalks than I've ever seen growing up here. That is a huge problem, and we are not just talking about from dogs. We're talking about humans. We see poop, we see pee-pee, we see needles, we see trash. The preschool teacher of an area in that particular area where it's going on. Sometimes they ask, what is it the kids do? And that's a conversation that's a little difficult to have with a 2-year-old. But we just let them know that those things are full of germs, that they are dangerous, and that they should never be touched. Now, can you imagine? This is by a preschool, and the homeless are so thick in this area that they have no place to go to the bathroom, so they go to the bathroom in the streets or on somebody's stoop or whatever. And they're blaming advocacy groups for not doing enough. Well, maybe the city isn't doing enough to keep the homeless at work. Maybe the city should put little Johnny on the spots down every corner so that the homeless have a place to go to the bathroom. Maybe they should just put up little rooms, with bathrooms and showers and sinks and have them all cleaned up. This is a result of bad policies. So they have the homeless, and if you remember, San Francisco is one of those that claims to be, proud to be a sanctuary city. So here they have a problem of homeless, and they're wanting more people to come in. More people who don't have jobs. So where are they going to go? Literally, where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? Pooh. It says about 70% of the people estimated to be homeless in San Francisco were actually housed in San Francisco before they became homeless. We have to make sure people who live here, sadly, people who are homeless here, that they are also held accountable for taking care of our streets. So it's the homeless fault. It's the advocacy group's fault, but it's not the mayor's fault. It's not the city's fault. It's not the state's fault. Their bad policies, which have cost jobs, it's not their fault. She says here that I work hard to make sure your programs are funded. This is one of the advocacy groups. Purpose of trying to get these individuals help. And what I am asking you to do is work for your clients and ask them to at least have respect for the community, at least clean up themselves and show respect to one another. Now, the mayor, where does she expect all these people to clean up? They're homeless. Where are they supposed to clean up? I don't care how much money you give to an advocacy group. They can have the soup kitchens to feed them. What goes in comes out, So where are they going to clean up? Maybe there's more guilt here to throw around, more blame. But perhaps it's the socialistic Democrat policies that have created all the homeless. Some of them were housed there at one point in time. They obviously had jobs. But now they don't have jobs. They don't have homes. They don't have a place to wash, and they don't have a place to poo. So there is poo in the streets of San Francisco, and it's not enough to have the homeless. They want to be a sanctuary city and have more homeless. I hear the music. We're going into the first break of the morning. We're going to continue. We're going to talk about some other things that are going on, like I did in the monologue. I kind of preempted some of that. Hang on. Your calls are welcome. Stay on topic today. Stay on topic. It's not free for all. 877-895-5410 is the number to call. That's 877-895-5410. And we will be right back.